Hello. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday and happy birthday, Eric.
Yes, happy birthday. Thank you for
Everyone wish Eric a happy birthday.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a rule. Everyone who knows me knows that I like to be wished happy birthday on the day. No belated happy birthdays. It doesn't count if you come in belated. Yeah, absolutely. I told everyone that. I was joking about that all week at the gym, and then everyone overdid it this morning about making sure it was right on time. So I felt very special at the gym.
Good. You deserve to be.
All right. Let's jump into the show here. Okay, first one I want to talk about. Okay, I'm trying to think which one I want to start first with. Which one I'm the most hot on? I'm going to start with this one because it's the least exciting.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay, so this is what I'm the most hot on. This week especially, I've been really hot on it. Here, I'll take the floor here because I'm going to go on a monologue. I think that the idea of a marketing funnel early in the internet was really important because you would bring people through this kind of like experience with a website that included all of these touch points and all this like bringing people down the funnel digitally. That was really important. I was a big fan of it. I myself talked about it. But really since the adpocalypse, if you ever listened to any of our videos before, I probably talk about this in every episode. This was a big moment in digital advertising where you guys, every user has to opt in. We get to opt in for advertising. After that, everything changed. The funnel essentially died at that moment. And the reason that I'm hot on it is because there's a lot of people I think this is a huge red flag. If any marketing person that you're talking to wants to put you into a sales funnel builder or any kind of like sales funnel focused marketing tool, it's a huge waste of time and a huge waste of money. And I guess I'm really passionate about it because that's not the way that it works anymore. And so I just wanted to like sort of explain digitally what happens right now, what the kind of the best practice model is to have everyone instead of a funnel of landing pages, instead of moving people through this kind of like process, it's more having one landing page that solves all of the problems of that funnel, and understanding that page might close in 6 visits. Sometimes it takes 20 visits, and you want all of the information. Like the first visit, a lot of times they just visit and then leave. By that time they close, they might have scrolled down to the bottom through the FAQs and this kind of thing. Just really briefly, what you want is a call to action right at the top. You want to address pain points right at the top, some kind of high level pain points. Just below that, when you scroll down, you want to be able to talk through like a little bit more in deep, but like an FAQs about the product, some things that people ask about, things that people are always wondering about during the sales process, product or service. And then back to another call to action, perhaps some testimonials. And then that's your whole page, and that's the whole marketing funnel now. There's no reason to have any kind of other push them down the lead funnel process right now. And I don't know. I'm passionate about it because people get jazzed. Is that how you consume or get sold these days, Bailey? Or I don't know. I guess I should have asked you first. Do you get a lot?
I kind of have 2 interesting perspectives on this. One, I think you make a really good point when you say like putting all of the information in one place, just on one page, because although yes, like you could build out into all these different pages, like provide a plethora of information, people don't want to go clicking around anymore. They want the solution right in front of their face right there. Specifically, I know this because for lacrosse, our club team, like we have all of the information listed on the website. All you have to do is go to the girls tab. That's all you have to do. And that is like too much to ask. So we had to like completely send out a huge frequently asked questions list. And as soon as we sent that out, we got all of our registrations right there. Like all of that information was already on the website somewhere. They just didn't want to go look for it themselves. Like if they have that information, easy access right there, that the sale will probably come quicker than them having to go search for it themselves. But on the opposite side, I think it is also a good point that's saying it takes 9 times. Like I'm going to preview something that I want. I almost never search something up and buy it immediately unless it's like Amazon. But if it's like a actual, like from a brand, you know, probably more expensive or like something that like I like to like think about the cost of it. Like I'm gonna go to their website probably a couple times before I finally solidify my decision.
And I think what you want to see, or what I think performs way better or is a much more productive version of that, is this kind of goes back to what we always talk about, which is that if you're set up correctly, you want to be able to like track everything that happens. And when you have multiple pages, what you get basically from my perspective is a ton of opportunities to lose the user, to lose like what happened or why exactly they left. Was it a loading issue? Is one of the pages for some reason loading slower than others? Like maybe the image is bigger than the other ones for some other reason. And there's all these kind of like nuances to adding the extra page. And I think one of the reasons that simple works the best is because setup is so important. Best practice setup is so important. So the more complicated you make all of these additional landing pages and that's usually what is meant by the marketing funnel digitally. They're talking about like, setting up all of these kind of like different experiences for different stages of the funnel. And now I don't think that's necessary at all. And I think that it is a detriment because you overcomplicate something that could be very simple. And if when you make it overcomplicated, you tend to make more mistakes, and then you just lose people and you don't get any good data. I also think that it performs better just in my user experience. It's just better to get all the information right away. These days, I think consumers want to see it all, perhaps like review it, but not absorb it yet. I think is a lot of times what happens. Like it's kind of the experience you described. Like I'm going to go to the page. I'm going to see what I like there, some of what I like, and then I'm going to
get a good idea, but I'm not going to think past that. Like
right. And then the next time you don't want to get bombarded with a bunch of new information. You want to be like, what was that? I remember what was the thing about that?
Yeah.
Or like, what was the exact whatever. And so like, did they do contract? I can't remember if it was a contract, whatever, and so you go back to the page and you check again. But like, if it's a whole new experience, if it's a whole new thing, again, you run into the opportunity of like, are you tracking it correctly? Are you, is that page loading just as fast? Did you lose them when they were trying to find you? Did they find your competitor? There's like all of this like additional shit going on. And if you had everything on that one page and they just go back to that one page and they find you and you're there again, and that's the move. So, and advertising is working that way too. All of the digital advertising assets are all in one place as well. And so really it's one ad that is touching them all of those 9 times and bringing them back to that landing page. I mean, obviously I look at everything through a digital advertising view, but that's why that's another reason why to have that kind of simple page, simple advertising, driving to one page so that there's no opportunity for any like mistakes or lost people, and just allow the tools to do its thing. That's why marketing funnels are stupid. Okay, we can move on from my rant. I did want to take
very valid.
We talked about your team, and I wanted to because you didn't tell me yet about the game. Yeah.
We won our regional quarterfinal game last night down in Jupiter. So next Tuesday we have regional semifinals. The only bad part about it is we have to play St. Thomas Aquinas, so we have to go all the way to Fort Lauderdale.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah, so that'll be tough. But so next Wednesday I'll be a little extra tired, but hopefully it'll be a good day.
Yeah,
I'll have good news
good is that team? Are they like a real good team?
So they're ranked 2, we're ranked 3rd.
Oh boy.
So it'll be a good game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait. All right. Well, I'll be keeping you in mind.
Thanks.
All right, let's jump into a couple of your I want to do this one. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, will you intro what this is? Because I'm still
Yes.
catching up as an old man.
So originally it was brought to my For You page, my social media platforms, because I do have a lot to do with high school girls because I am a high school coach. So they got onto this trend very early, and it is as soon as one or two of them started it, it immediately took fire, and they've all done it now. So if you recall, or if you were around for the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, I think it was in 2016. The idea of the Ice Bucket Challenge was to like simulate what it feels like to have ALS, like sending your body into shock, like not having control. That was the point of pouring ice water on yourself. And then if you didn't do it, if you didn't want to pour the ice water on yourself, or you didn't do it within 24 hours, you were supposed to make a donation to ALS. So this USC Speak Your Mind Challenge, although yes, I think it is a great mission. It has a great story behind it, and it's a great passion project. I think it completely ripped off the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, because this one is more for mental health, which I think is a huge thing and definitely needs to be talked about more. I just hate to see that it's taking away from ALS, because I follow someone on TikTok, like a creator who does have ALS. She got diagnosed, I think, when she was like 32 or pretty young. And like over the past year, she's become completely immobile. So like I've seen her perspective, like, and I don't want to say like I'm super passionate about ALS. I wouldn't say that's true. But since following her, I do have like more information, and like since all of this has come out and I like obviously feel passionate about to speak enough, I've like gone to the ALS website. And so like since the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, they were before the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, there was only one drug available for anyone with ALS. And since then, they've come out with 2 new drugs, but obviously experimental because they had enough money to fund the research for it. But since the Ice Bucket Challenge, they haven't really had any influx of donations since then. So they're kind of at a stalemate where they were before. That's why it kind of bothers me so badly that it's like ripping them off. So like my high school girls nominated me. I haven't done it yet. Honestly, I haven't had the time to do it, but I was going to make a full reel like talking about this, like, and do the actual ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, not the USC Speak Your Mind Challenge. That's my rant.
Yeah, hey, I guess we both got a rant this morning. Yeah, I definitely was. I guess I didn't even like consider why they chose the Ice Bucket Challenge for ALS back in the day. I know I did it. I can't find the video anywhere, but I know I did it. I remember getting dunked in water, and I can't remember. I know I did it though, but it was odd to see it coming back around and I was sort of like. It just felt like kind of like, have we gone through all the ideas? Like it felt like, we just kind of like ran out of all the good ideas, and we're like, hey, I guess it's been 10 years. No one will
Time
notice.
to bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've joked with a bunch of people that are my age and been like, it's just kind of like funny to see that for it to come full circle. I hopefully, we can come up with some new ideas.
I know.
New ideas coming up, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't even consider the ALS thing. One thing that I thought was kind of weird is like I couldn't find any ALS. So to the point you're making, I couldn't find anything about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenges. I was trying to find social media exists.
I literally looked it up yesterday. Oh, like on social media or like a website?
I guess like when I went to go look it up, I couldn't find anything about. Hold on, sorry, I'm getting a call from my mom to tell me happy birthday, but I'll call her back. Yeah, I didn't get any. I was looking up. I was trying to find my own, and I just found it like difficult to find even my own Ice Bucket Challenge, because when I did it, it was buried by everyone else doing this new one. And so I was just kind of like, I think that to the point that you're making, I think that it does sort of like minimize the ALS one. Although I didn't even think about it sympathetically. I was mostly just irritated that they hadn't been more creative. So good on you. You're a much better person as usual.
Well, and I saw like a high schooler's take yesterday about it. Like posting that like the people who are doing it are like some of the meanest girls at their school. So it's like for mental health, but it's like literally their school bullies are doing the mental health challenge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
is it actually serving the purpose, or is it just like you get tagged in it and you do it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think it's really opening up the conversation about mental health, in my opinion. It's not, no
probably
one's
not.
talking about what it's actually for.
But if I'm being honest, I didn't know about the ALS like getting a lot of donations during that challenge the first time. But I will say that I think that was something that was a criticism of it at the time, was that like what is no one's even learning about ALS with
Yeah.
this. Um, and
But I
I didn't
think at least with
feel like
ALS, because ALS, like, honestly, I don't know if I knew what it was before the challenge.
yeah,
Like,
I
at
didn't at all.
least it
Yeah, I never.
made the I don't know, do you call it a disease, or I'm not sure the correct term for it, but it at least made it like a household, like common word name, so that it's like more recognizable. Like we were talking about it at practice the other day, and there were still a couple high school girls who were like, what's ALS? But again, like that's a completely different generation. They weren't around for that. They were 8 years
Yeah,
old when we did the challenge. So,
I think to me, it's like this challenge proves what is, I think, always true with marketing and anything else, which is that like if you copy someone else, like this one won't be, it will be probably like half as successful
Mhm.
in terms of creating awareness. And you mentioned like the getting donations and stuff. It'll probably be like whatever. I have no idea what ALS did, but it'll probably do. Let's say it's half, just to make the numbers easy. And then the next time someone tries it, it'll be half again. The next time someone's like, "We're going to do the ice bucket for everyone, do an ice bucket for cancer research or whatever," and it'll
Mhm.
even less good and even less good until everyone kind of gives up on it. And I think my favorite like example of that phenomenon in the nonprofit is with marketing with the bracelets. Um, I don't know, you might be a little too young for this, but there was a guy named Lance Armstrong. You remember Lance
Mhm.
Armstrong? Yeah, okay.
The
And those
Live Strong.
bracelets, yeah, Live
Mhm.
Strong bracelets was like a big thing. I mean, it was like this huge thing. And then right after that, I don't remember who. Literally, I mean, this is exactly my point. I don't even remember who came next. But there was a time for like, I don't know, 2 years where it was like every organization was passing out these little, you had an orange one, you had a blue one,
Mhm.
green one, and everybody had like picked a color and made these bracelets. And to the point where eventually that was no longer a good strategy.
Yeah,
Like
and no
you
one,
can't pass this out
yeah.
anymore. And if you pass out a red one, no one cares, and no one's going to wear them, and the
Mhm.
moment's gone. And I think that's what's happening with some of what I think is going to happen with some of these trends.
Mhm.
I suspect, this is a little bit of a prediction. You'll have to note this the next time we see
Clock
one of
it.
these things happen. Yeah. That the the you're going to see like some of the other past trends come back that have been successful. I'm trying to think of one I don't know. It's like I'm struggling to
One of my
think of.
high schoolers right now is bringing back dabbing. Every single
Sure,
photo she dabs.
sure. I think like
We love it, but like,
classic dances,
yeah.
maybe like something like that from that kind of time period, or trying to think of something that was specifically for a nonprofit that was kind of like that,
Mm.
kind of like the ice bucket, because they all had
Yeah, the bracelets was a good one.
they've had a few other moments, but whatever it is, the best thing is your own creative idea. So the next thing that will come up that is truly successful, like the ALS, will be one that is unique, I
Original.
suspect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they'll have to
completely
come up with
agree.
their own idea. All right, blip, cool. Two rants. I got news for you. By taking that stance, as justified as it is, you become one of the old guys on the lawn who doesn't like the young kids, the youths, and their crazy
I
ideas.
know. I know. I
Oh,
know. I
and any
know.
day you'll say that they don't have any good
No,
taste in
but to
music.
be fair, okay, don't even get me started on their music. But to be
You're already
fair,
there.
I am like, so when I got my new phone, like on the new iPhones, like it has that setting where if you set it down, it doesn't like completely lock. it like just goes like half dark.
No, I did not.
Oh, well, that was the setting mine like came on. Like it never like fully locked. So
Hmm.
I would go over to one of them. I was like, "Can someone turn this off, please? Like, can you fix it?" And then I was like, "Wait, no! Can you show me how to do it? Like, I don't want to just like blindly hand you my phone. I want to make sure I'm like learning the technology. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to be the one to be like, I don't want to learn that. Like, I want to
Yeah.
be able to keep up with it because that's how you get behind is by not being willing to like keep up with the times."
Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. That is absolutely how you get out of practice. Just like
Yeah.
anything, you forget how to do it, and then by the time you try to catch up, my example of that truth is video games. My mom was
I'll never be
like
able to play video
she
games.
was like, I don't like video games at all.
That's how my parents were.
And I had like a friend like Nintendo around that time. I had one of those that she had gotten at a garage sale, and I think it was like Super Nintendo was out, but I had a Nintendo, so I was roughly in the same like ballpark of everyone else. I was only one console behind, and so I was enjoying games at that time. But then from Super Nintendo, I didn't get a Super Nintendo, and then there was like I don't know a few other consoles. But and then the next time I went, I was like in high school, and I was like 10 years behind everyone else in terms of like exposure to these games, and I could not figure it out. I was like so far behind that I was like turned off of it
Yeah.
and didn't play video games then again for until I was an adult. So I was old, like an actual adult. I got a hand-me-down video game system, and I so I could practice like in private without being embarrassed. But I don't even play like sports games. I can't play any of them. I can barely figure out the controller. I'm like so far
Yeah,
behind.
my fingers with the controller, I can't do it. I only ever had a Wii and a DS. That was the only thing I ever was allowed to have.
Nice. Oh,
I
because
mean,
they because it was like educational. It was
I
like
don't know.
they
Well,
could
and it
say,
was a family Wii, and then my brother and I shared a DS.
yeah, cool.
I only really played the dog games on the DS, you know, where you take care of the little dog. Nintendogs, that was my favorite.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, I didn't have even one of those. I don't know. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. Even
Well,
like,
also, you bring up such a good point. Me and Skylar say this all the time. Well, you didn't. Okay, whatever. So, do you remember the PSPs? It was basically what a Switch is.
no.
It was like this big. It had
Mm.
controllers on the side. The screen was like this big, and you like put the. It was like a DS, but it didn't flip. It was just a screen like this. Like if your phone was like this. Oh, of course, my phone's not gonna work. Whatever.
It sounds
So
familiar. But I
PSPs
don't.
they were only around for like 2 or 3 years. But me and Skylar like say all the time like PSPs walked so that Switches could run. Like that's
Mm.
essentially what the Switch is. Like it's just funny how it just came back in a different way. It always
Well,
comes back.
I missed them all. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Even like now, as a 41-year-old man, I can play some of them with my son, and it's
That's the
kind of
best. That's
fun.
all you
But
need it for.
he already shreds me on the video games. He's much better. He knows how to do so much better. All right, let's jump into the next one here. I'm gonna put you up. You can intro.
All right.
What are we talking about here?
I don't know if anyone has heard about this. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the stage here. The new settlement in the NIL. So essentially, what changed is that basically the athletes of D1 schools proposed this lawsuit saying that they were bringing in money for the schools with admissions, with streaming the meets, streaming the games, whatnot, and that the student athletes were entitled to the profit that they made. And it was approved, and we are about to see the downfall of NCAA sports, in my opinion, because there's no reason you should be getting paid $20 million as a high school or as a college athlete. It's not professional. Like it's just going to completely change the landscape. So I don't even think this is the first page.
Well, so what will be the difference then? I guess what would be kind of interesting to me is like, what will be the difference between that and professional basketball?
No, essentially nothing is except that you'll have to be a college student. You still get like the 4 years of eligibility. But like, so here you can see that they're retroactively paying people from 2016 to 2024.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's what this lawsuit was for.
Wow.
So now, if you're at a D1 school, but like this, what really sucks. So like you can get up to 22% of the revenue, right? But what that does is you have unlimited. This is what's really going to screw over a lot of people. Is although there's no scholarship limits anymore, there you have roster sizes. So like the teams like cross country, track and field, swimming, cheerleading, those are the sports that don't bring in the money. They don't have NIL deals. They don't have $1 million. They're not getting paid millions of dollars to play at their college, and they're getting capped at like +1. So like if you need 8 people to run in your cross country race, they're only allowed like 9 spots. So it's just screwing. Like it's good, great. That's fantastic for the football players, for the Livy Duns of the world, but most athletes aren't actually like that, So it's kind of only good for the ones who are in the spotlight and not really good for anyone else.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I didn't even I hadn't even really considered that. So I wonder like what would really happen if so like if you're not good enough, like if you're like you're good enough is not the way I want to phrase that. If you're not if your sport isn't popular enough, then there's no this doesn't improve your situation at all.
Unless you want to become an influencer in your sport, you will not benefit from this.
So then now, like, because I wonder if like there'll be a lot more reason for them to focus on being an influencer versus focus on being the best at the sport or focus on
so I think it's going to be really interesting. So like on social media, like there is someone who, like, I've seen a content creator. She was a Duke track runner and cross country runner. So like she ended up getting NIL deals because she took the time to build her social media audience. She became an influencer in that sport. That's how she was able to get her NIL deals. But that's not true for everyone. Like she worked hard to build her following. So that is an avenue that these athletes can take, kind of take their niche corners of their sports and trying to develop their social media influencing that way to get NIL deals, to kind of like reap the negativity of what this is, or like try to turn it into a positive. That's the only way that they'll see success in it. At least in my opinion.
I can imagine, because I guess if I was going to be passionate about any college sport, it would be wrestling. And there's not like crowds, there's not a lot of opportunity and I can imagine like a wrestler in that situation trying to make a little extra money. I guess it's cool that they can make some extra money, but I wonder if you would start selecting, like if, I don't know, like let's say your wrestling program, you start selecting for people that are better social media personalities versus like trying to find the best wrestler.
Well,
because
so like
maybe you need more, maybe you're like, we've got some good wrestlers. We need better marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if that becomes like part of what you're looking for in a college team in that scenario.
Well, like I don't know if you saw this week, the Tennessee quarterback, he came out and said not enough money. And then the Tennessee coach came and said, listen, no one person is bigger than I program. So they didn't give him more money. So he went and transferred to UCLA. The day that he committed to UCLA quarterback entered the transfer portal and is now talking to Tennessee. All because of money. Like, why did you make that switch? Because you're getting $4 million and not $6 million. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Crazy world we live in.
I know.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully.
Okay. Well, here's another. This kind of goes down the same.
Yeah, show me.
So I don't know if you saw anything about this. So this was a big hit. So the Texas.
You're not on the stage anymore. Are you trying to share?
Oh, is it not there? Dang it. Okay. Sorry. Let me pull it back up. My bad. Okay. So this Texas player right here, she was standing in the baseline LSU, they scouted that Texas often stands in the baseline. So they, in my opinion, had the scout to purposely like pull this foul, but it was kind of flagrant. Like she was kind of aggressive with the shove, right?
Wow.
Okay. But again, she was obstructing the baseline. So she was in the wrong. But was she a little bit too aggressive for what it was? Yes. So both of these girls had to come on social media this week and make videos because they've gotten death threats. Because like both of them apologized to each other after the game. They handled it the way they should, but the way social media took it and just blew it out of the water, like they're high level athletes. They're playing for the team that they love. Like, yes, it's intense. Yes, it's aggressive, but like they handled it like adults, but social media is like ruining it for them. Like the fact that you have to come on and say, stop sending this other player death threats, like is insane. Yeah. Like it's just interesting the way social media is making an impact on sports, whether it's NIL or just like sending death threats to a player that of a clip that somehow just went viral because someone posted it.
Yeah. Depending on your situation, you almost need a press team.
Yeah.
Just to be a college athlete, which is crazy. Hard to imagine that you really get, or at least what I would think would be like the value out of college sports. But I guess if you're playing at a level where you're like setting yourself up for a professional career, that might be different. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know if that would be something I would want for my kid necessarily. If they were really good, that feels like a lot of public spotlight for a college experience.
But I mean, and it really, like, I feel like it's just here recently, like the way that everything gets shared on social media and everyone's allowed to form an opinion, right? Because you're allowed to form your own opinion about whatever you want. But, like trying to force that opinion onto the people who handle the situation maturely is where like it kind of draws the line.
Sure. Always does.
Yeah.
All right. Now the best and most important deluxe section of the show, the niche corners of the internet. I think the best part. I'm going to go first because I'm very excited about my two options. I got first one. It's really silly. Here we go. I got to add to stage first here. Hold on. All right, so this is this guy. I always talk about how, you don't have to overthink your content. I'm going to turn on this. This is his content. Always the same song. Always the same dance moves. Same deal. Let's check out another one just to make sure. Same thing. Same song. Same song.
Every time.
Every single time, baby. I love it.
At least he's consistent.
Exactly. What I want to point out though, like the reason that I like this guy I wanted to talk about him because he just like every single thing is the same. He never overdoes it, but he gets like, like every once in a while, one of the videos does better than others. And this is all the content. I look at these guys in the back. I love the silly
Casey
little
runs
Easter
with
eggs. Like what's he doing?
It works for him.
Exactly. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Okay, so then my other one, my next one is this guy that I think we decided we both are fans of, which is SB Mowing. So this is great. Again, you don't have to overthink your content. This guy he's a landscaper. He has a landscaping company. Seems like it's him and his wife because I've consumed enough of his content to know. I'm right about that, right, Bailey? I think.
I actually do not know.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's him and his wife. And basically what he does, this is the story that's on the screen, but they're all basically like this. He just goes up to a house of like a little old lady or like a family who is, a single mom or something like that. It's always like a good situation or whatever, somebody who just can't keep up with their yard. And if you live like anywhere near the South, I think they're like in South Carolina or something like that. But if you live anywhere in the Southeast, it gets so humid in the summer. I mean, you're honestly for like a lady like this,
That would
your
be.
yard. Yeah, it can be really overwhelming. I mean, you literally every week you really have to be out there. And I mean, it doesn't get like this in a week, but it does get like this in probably like 2 months. Like I think people
Yeah.
would be
If
surprised
you
at how
don't do it once a week, it
right,
gets
right. It's like
out
yeah,
of hand.
like 2 weeks turns to 3, and then now you've got a real problem. Now you need like a different kind of mower and whatever else. Anyway, so I say that to say this guy, he's just really charming, and he goes out. It's just a time lapse of him doing the work of this donation that he does. Probably like I don't know how often the content comes out. Probably like once a week. And this is just an example of like again why I think people don't need to overthink their content. Let's look at a couple more. Same idea.
He also does a lot of like abandoned properties. Like he'll ask the
Yeah,
neighbors, like, "Hey, when's
yeah,
the last time you've seen someone here?" So he's like raising the property value for like neighborhoods. Like he's putting into the community. That's really great to see, and it's aesthetically fun to watch.
Well, that's what I was gonna. That was the other thing that I really wanted to point out is that like I legit watch these whole videos sometimes.
I do
Sometimes I mean,
too.
listen, I'm
And
not proud of
there's like no sound. He doesn't put
yeah,
like music to it. You
yeah,
just hear
yeah,
the of the in
exactly.
high speed.
Yeah. He doesn't even
The
edit the
little
videos really that much. There's no like there's no whooshing transitions or like text on the screen, like nothing like that. It's just like
he does
he
his
just sets up
talking in the
a tripod.
beginning, and then he lets you enjoy the the
Right.
ASMR.
And as a marketing agency, a lot of times when we're like talking about, okay, we want to shoot some content, we've got to organize with the homeowner. We've got to like figure out all this stuff about like, how can we shoot, some videos in one of the clients. He doesn't have to worry about any of that because he's just donating his time. And so like, if the person
Mm-hmm.
can just say no, and then he just goes on to the next house. And in Florida, I mean, if you're not in an HOA, you've got a house like this. Every street has a house, something like this. So I bet
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina is a lot like that too. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that like a lot of businesses, there's opportunity in this same kind of idea. Maybe you're
I agree.
if you're a roofer, a lot of the roofers that I know, they donate a roof or two here and there. I don't know why people aren't just using that to make content. At least if you're going to do it, or maybe you're donating time in a totally different thing. But again, it doesn't have to be that complicated. It could just be like cleaning, time lapses, photos, whatever. And that's a great path for content that you don't have to overthink. All right, that's
Agreed.
what I got. That's my two niche corners of the internet. They both had practical applications as well, which is nice. What do you have? You have no niches, no niche corners
Well,
in the internet?
I pulled up one, but it's not really appropriate, but it's like really funny. And
I
it's
just shared a guy twerking. I mean, I don't know how
okay.
inappropriate is
Well,
it?
it's like kind of like that. Like this girl makes the same videos. It's like complete satire, but like the comments, I won't be able to show the comments because I'm not logged in. But the comments are the best part because like they're like in on it with her. Like this is like the only kind of shoot, I already had it open. Give me 1 second. Share my screen. She's my favorite. And it's been getting stuck in my head. So I've been, this is like the only thing I've been saying the past couple of days. I mean, not the whole thing, just the beginning.
Nina, warning! I'm outside tonight, guys, so don't say I didn't warn ya. If you have trypophobia, stay indoors, because I've got a tight little hole. So keep your man indoors, keep your girls indoors. Happy Easter! Nina!
But every video she starts it with Nina, warning. And that's just what I've been walking around. I actually don't think that one she started with it. Oops.
Well, I think you don't have to. Again, like I love it. I love it when there's like something consistent, like a consistent beginning and end. Like we've talked about it before, but the YooHoo guy that I love, the YooHoo dude,
Yeah,
where it's just he just shakes up a can of YooHoo, puts it down, and then dances with his kids. That's so stupid, and I love those like bookends of like things. Like even in my newsletter, I do that same thing. Yeah, to me, I think even as a viewer. As a reader or whatever, it's nice to have those. It's nice to like have these kind of like familiar little boxes so that you can kind of like every time kind of know what to expect. I love that kind of stuff. So actually, that was a good niche. I don't know that I'll follow her. But,
that was a niche. You're right. It was a good
that
niche.
was definitely a niche.
Because everyone that I've asked about it, no one's heard about it.
Yeah, I'm glad that I know. At least I'll be on top of things. All right. Well, we did 40 minutes. This feels good. We got some work to do today. Plus, it's my birthday, so I did see we got a comment. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, been watching SP
yes,
mowing for years.
SP mowing is the best. Yeah, absolutely.
We love him around here.
All right, not even really a niche, I guess. At that point, he's got.
I guess it's not. But if you haven't, you should check him out.
Indeed.
Shameless.
All right,
plug
thank
for
you,
SP
everyone.
Mowing.
Bye.
Happy Wednesday.